Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews, unboxings, and collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. Today, we're diving into the new Disney Plus documentary, Not Just a Goof, which shines a light on the legacy of a Goofy movie. But before we get into the doc itself, let's rewind a bit. Let's take a moment to talk about Goofy. He's one of Disney's big four, right alongside Mickey, Minnie, and Donald. Now, Mickey was the big cheese, debuting in Steamboat Willie in 1928 and starring in 126 shorts until 1953, with his own feature in Mickey's Christmas Carol in 1983. Minnie had her share of classic appearances too, and Donald Duck, my personal favorite, debuted in The Wise Little Hen in 1934, and kept going strong through Donald in Math Magic Land in 1959. Goofy, meanwhile, made his first appearance as Dippy Dog in Mickey's Revue in 1932 and thankfully got rebranded to Goofy 2 years later. And honestly, Goofy has some of the best shorts. His how-to series is comedy gold. How to fish, how to play basketball, how to sleep, they still hold up. His first solo short, Goofy and Wilbur, came out in 1939, and he appeared in 44 more up until How to Sleep in 1953. What made Goofy so special to me wasn't just his humor, it was how awkward and how real he felt. Especially in a Goofy movie, his embarrassing dad energy was something every teenager could relate to. We've all had that please don't embarrass me in public moment. Now, before Goofy movie, there was Goof Troop, hands down my favorite Disney cartoon. The theme song alone, an absolute banger. That intro gets stuck in your head for days, and I'm not even mad about it. The show only ran for 2 seasons, 78 episodes from September to December of 1992, but it left a big impact. And honestly, it was about time. Donald got DuckTales for 4 seasons, even Chip and Dale had Rescue Rangers. Goofy finally got his spotlight, and a Goofy movie was the crown jewel of that era. But okay, I've got to say it. I hate Goofy's redesign from 2013 to 2019. He looked dirty, hillbilly-esque, just off. Like Goofy is supposed to be lovable and awkward, not grimy. I'm so glad they've gone back to the cleaner, more classic style. Let's be real, Max and Roxanne were couple goals. Their relationship was sweet, shy, and super relatable for anyone navigating crushes in school. Roxanne wasn't just a love interest, she had charm, style, and grounded Max in a way that felt really honest. That whole, I want to impress her, but I also want to stay true to myself energy is timeless. Also, Max skateboarded, and so did I. So that alone sealed the deal. It made him feel cool, but in a low-key, suburban kind of way. Not like some over-the-top action hero. He was just a kid trying to figure things out, and that connected with a lot of us. Oh, and the music? Eye to Eye and Stand Out are still some of the best songs ever written for a movie. No exaggeration. They're catchy, emotional, and have that 90s R&B/pop flavor that just hits. I still blast them in the car like it's 1995. I was 9 months from being born when a Goofy movie hit theaters, but I've always believed that the decade you were born in still leaves a huge mark on you. Even if you came in towards the end of it, things like CDs, records, TV reruns, and your older siblings helped you soak up that era like you lived in it. Surprisingly, I never owned this film on VHS or DVD growing up, but every time it showed up in the Disney Channel lineup, I'd circle it in the TV guide or even the newspaper and make sure I caught it. That's how special it was to me. 5 years after its theatrical release, Disney and Buena Vista finally released a DVD version in a white case, and that's still the only widely available physical copy. The film was underrated for so long. It really lived as a cult classic for the first 2 decades. Disney didn't even bother with a Blu-ray until 2019, and that was a Disney Movie Club exclusive. And those DMC transfers, not the best quality from what I've heard. We need a 4K remaster. Fans deserve better, especially with the 30th anniversary around the corner. The documentary gives us a first-hand look at director Kevin Lima, who shares how watching The Jungle Book in theaters as a kid inspired his dream to make movies. We even get a peek at his incredible personal collection, which is basically a Disney fan's dream room. What I really love about Kevin is how he's held on to his childlike wonder. It's rare and refreshing. He attended Cal Arts and joined Disney in 1984 during a rough patch for the studio that wouldn't begin turning around until The Little Mermaid launched the Disney Renaissance in 1989. Kevin actually worked as a character designer on that film, and a Goofy movie marked his directorial debut. I always appreciate stories like this, where someone unknown is given a shot and works their way up the ladder. That kind of career journey feels more and more rare these days. One thing I really enjoyed about the documentary is how it uses new original animation in the style of the Goofy movie universe to visually enhance the stories being told. It adds such a creative, nostalgic flair. The doc also touches on how DuckTales got its own film in 1990, and then it was finally Goofy's turn. But unfortunately, a Goofy movie didn't perform well at the box office. Still, so many of us connected with it. The story of a teen who'd rather be with his friends than stuck on a road trip with his dad, totally relatable. That uncool dad trope applies to everyone, celebrity kids included. One of my favorite moments is when Goofy takes Max to Lester's Possum Park. It's so meta and weirdly reminiscent of attractions like the Country Bear Jamboree in the Disney parks. Also, shout out to Jason Marsden, who voiced Max. He was perfect for the role. Fun fact, 2 years earlier, he voiced Binks the Cat in Hocus Pocus. And if you're a hardcore Full House fan like me, you might remember him as DJ's boyfriend, Nelson, in a few episodes. The cast was stacked. Jim Cummings, aka the voice of Winnie the Pooh, voiced Pete, and Wallace Shawn, who later voiced Rex in Toy Story, lent his voice to Principal Mazur. He's also done tons of other voice roles, from Chicken Little to Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. Overall, I'd give Not Just a Goof a solid 4 out of 5. As soon as it ended, I had to go rewatch a Goofy movie, and that's how you know a documentary did its job. Expect the documentary to get me emotional. The documentary, as well as the movie, is very heartfelt, tugs on those heartstrings. And if you have the ability to, call your dad, tell him you love him, stepdad, father figure, older brother, uncle, whoever it is, it's something that whether you grew up with the movie or not, maybe you're an adult, have a kid, and are watching it with your kid for the first time. It's just a movie that really hits on all cylinders. So, call your dad, call whoever, tell them you love them, and yeah. So it is emotional, the documentary as well as the movie. But what are your thoughts on a Goofy movie? Did it mean as much to you as it did to me? And are you planning to check out Not Just a Goof on Disney Plus? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And check me out on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thank you so much for watching, and go watch a movie today.